Russia's foreign ministry is condemning the U.S. capture of Nicolás Maduro and his wife and is calling for their release from U.S. custody. The longtime ally of Venezuela is now calling for the conflict to be resolved through diplomacy. Let's discuss this with Nina Khrushcheva. She's a professor of international affairs at the New School and is the great-granddaughter of former Soviet leader Nikita Khrushchev. And we see the 2026 behind you. Happy New Year to you, Nina. We wish it was under more sobering or happier circumstances. But let's talk about this long-standing relationship between Russia and Venezuela. How might you expect the Putin regime to react to what the Trump administration is doing?
Good morning. Well, they already react, and they've been condemning, as actually many others. We heard it from China. We even heard it some words from Europe as well. But it's in some way, it's a very subdued reaction because as horrible as it is what happened to losing this ally, because Russia has invested, it's not exactly clear, we don't have exact numbers, but up to 20 billion, 17 billion into the, you just had a piece on Venezuelan oil. A lot of it was Russian bailing out. Rosneft was very big into sort of supporting the failing oil business over there. So Russia is almost ready to lose the money. So there's a questions to Putin is that why are we the Russians, why the Russians are investing into the regimes that really were very shaky to start with. That is one part of it. But they're ready. They're condemning, but they're not really. And Trump said correctly that Russians are not going to have a big stink about it. On a positive note, although that has not been heard, but we understand that if we analyze Putin's actions, he actually feels very validated, because one of the reasons he went to Ukraine in 2022 is because he was afraid for that is a security issue for Russia. There is a problem for Russia that he may be taken out because Joe Biden didn't like him. So now he says, look, if America does it to Maduro, they could have done it to me. Also, the might gives the right. So Trump had the might, he went in, I have the might, I go against Ukraine.
And much of this has led to questions about how much President Trump discussed with Putin about Venezuela when they spoke on Monday. But during a press conference, President Trump addressed whether or not he spoke to Mr. Putin about the Venezuela operation. Let's just play exactly what he had to say.
You had a phone call with him on Monday. Did he talk at all about Maduro? Did y'all talk about this?
No, we didn't. We never spoke about Maduro.
Are you mad at him right now? I mean, there's this intelligence.
I'm not thrilled with Putin. I'm not thrilled with Putin. He's killing too many people.
What do you make of that answer, and how do you think it might impact the U.S.'s efforts to get peace between Russia and Ukraine?
Well, I actually kind of agree with, I don't know whether they spoke about Venezuela, but I would imagine that they have many more things to talk about. First of all, there is Ukraine, then there is China, then there is Iran, and maybe later somewhere they can get to Venezuela. It's not really the top of their agenda. I'm sure if they did, Putin might have said, well, maybe don't take him out, maybe just let him get out peacefully, quietly, and whatnot. But he did. He essentially insulted Putin in those remarks when he said that there's a very primitive war. Look how it has to be done. We went in, we got out, because the idea was when Putin went in 2022, he would get Kyiv in 3 days, and he didn't. And so now Maduro was taken out in 30 minutes. So that's kind of an embarrassing thing for Putin. But I think another validation that he feels he can have is that he's not going to trust any Westerner. So if Trump can do it to Maduro, if Trump doesn't like him, he decides he can do it to him too. So now the Russians say, thank God we have nuclear weapons, and whatever our negotiations tactics would be, we're going to stand our ground and let them try to get to us.
Really interesting analysis there, Nina Khrushcheva. Always great to get your insight, especially on this first Monday of the new year. Thanks for being with us.
Thanks.